Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Romi. I'm a labor and delivery and OB-GYN registered nurse as well as a first year medical student, and I am also pregnant. I'm almost 8 months pregnant. I am 31 weeks today. Today's video is something I've been wanting to make for a very long time, since the beginning, like since I found out I was pregnant almost, but I just never had the time to sit down and film this for you guys because I've just been so busy with work and school. So I finally have my makeup done. I was just taking some pictures outside just a second ago for a collaboration with Pink Blush Maternity, and they are not sponsoring this video or anything. I did collaborate with them on Instagram, so I will post some photos for you guys to check them out. They are absolutely amazing. The quality is beautiful. The dress is sitting actually right here that they sent me, and it is a maternity dress. So beautiful. This one is a Valentine's Day dress, but it can also be used as a baby shower dress. It was just off shoulder, and guys, the quality is absolutely amazing, and there's absolutely no lumps or bumps or anything, like any back fat hanging out. Everything fits so beautifully in this dress, so I absolutely love it. Go follow me on Instagram if you guys haven't already, and I will also link a code for you guys to use for 25% off. I used it myself to buy my own baby shower dress, so I'm so excited to wear it. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram to follow along and see my baby shower pictures, which is coming up in a few short weeks. So today's video is going to be all about trying to conceive, my first symptoms, things I use to stay pregnant, and etc, etc. I feel like I watched so many of these videos when I first found out I was pregnant, just devouring these videos on YouTube and seeing everyone's first symptoms and seeing line progression tests. So I'm going to show you guys my tests. They're like months old. They're definitely a little harder to see, but you can still see the lines and see the very first pregnancy test I took and see how it was A positive. And you can also still see when it became a dye stealer, and these are all terms that I found out whenever I was like Googling and looking at different people's videos and things like that. So long story short, without getting into it, Kevin and I did have some issues with staying pregnant. So without getting into that today, because that's something I just don't want to talk about today, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about my first symptoms that I got. So looking back, I thought I was on 13 days post-ovulation, but I was actually at about 7 or 8 days post-ovulation after I did my first transvaginal ultrasound. So that is actually when I first got my very first symptom, and if you guys have been watching me for a while and watching my vlogs, my very first symptom was nausea, and it wasn't even nausea, it was just like the feeling of having to hurl. It was really weird. I was eating breakfast and all of a sudden, like, I just felt the need to hurl, and like I feel like I've never really had that feeling of just like not even like nausea coming up at all. It was just like, you're about to throw up right now. Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom, but I ended up not throwing up because I was just like, what is happening right now? I just like took a minute in the bathroom, had to take a few deep breaths, and I was like, what is going on? This is so weird. And this was the day before my expected period, so I had thought I was 13 days DPO, but my periods are super irregular. Like, they are not 28, 30-day cycles. They are 40 days sometimes. Sometimes they're 50 days. Like, I have extremely irregular periods, and I've been having them for, I don't know, quite a few years, quite honestly. I had ovulated late, which is not a surprise to me. But yeah, that's when I went home that day. I took a flight home and I felt really dizzy on the plane. Maybe I hadn't slept enough. I fly all the time. My husband's a flight attendant and we go on lots of flights together, and I've always felt fine since I was flying, since I was little. So yeah, it was really weird for me to just feel kind of dizzy and not myself, if that's the best way to describe it. So I took a test when I got home, and that was my very first positive. Like, I was literally like in shock. It was literally like a very faint positive, but still like visible enough to see, like not a squinter, because I know I've had those months where I'm squinting and I'm like, is this a positive or not? Putting it up in different lighting. I have had those days. I have been there. I did that test on 8/8. I'm gonna show you guys my line progression, I guess little chart that I taped. And it was in the PM. So I'm gonna try to hold it up and see if it will focus. Yes, it will. Awesome. So you guys can see right here that I took that test on 8/8. I pretty much put PM, but it was in the afternoon. So of course I decided to retest. I have these little cheapies. They're the PREGMATE brand by PREGMATE, yeah, they're the PREGMATE brand by Amazon. You can get like 100 of these for like 20 bucks. So this has lasted me my whole TTC journey. And especially if you guys like to pee on sticks every single moment of life like me. So they have always worked for me. I've never got like a false positive or anything like that. So the next day I tested again on 8/9. So yeah, I remember it being just about the same color. And then you can see the next day I tested in the 8 a.m. and it got darker. You can't really see that right now, of course, but it did get darker, and that's when I decided to tell Kevin, because I did want my lines to be progressed and my lines to be darker before I told him, just for myself. And I also took a clear blue digital that day. So this is probably 10 days DPO. It's 8/10, so 2 days after I took my first test, and I immediately got a positive result. It immediately said pregnant on the digital, which has never happened to me. Usually it takes the entire 3-4 minutes for it to say not pregnant or pregnant on the clear blue digital, but literally like, and I remember having like 3 drops of pee on it. Like I could not pee because I had peed like an hour or 2 prior, and I did record that vlog. I just remember saying like, oh my gosh, that was so fast. Like that was incredibly fast that it came up as just pregnant on the digital. I want to say, someone correct me if I'm wrong, you have to have at least 25 HCG in order to have a positive clear blue digital, and these cheapies, I think the sensitivity is about 10. I think it's about 5 to 10, I'm not sure. Like these are a lot more sensitive than the clear blue digital. So if you're taking these and they're positive and your clear blue digital is still negative, just don't worry about it. Wait a few days, wait a day or 2, and then retest on the digital. I waited 2 days before I actually took a clear blue digital and just continued taking these cheapies, but you guys know me. I kept on testing, of course, and these are so faint because this was literally like, I don't know, 7 months ago. You can see the progression, and I will put a picture somewhere here if that's easier for you guys to see, but I'm just going to show you guys quickly on the video camera just the progression. You can see the times I took it, the dates I took it, and you can see how they got darker and darker. Actually, I got my first dye stealer on 15th. Yeah, this tape has like just come off, so the dates are kind of like weird. But yeah, 8/15. So that was exactly 1 week after I got my very first positive test. I got my first dye stealer, which was crazy to me because this never happened to me. I never got a dye stealer before. So I thought that was crazy, and I still continue to test. I thought I would stop testing after I got my first dye stealer, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't just a fluke. So on the 16th, the next day after I got my dye stealer, I did it again, and then I got another dye stealer. It was darker than the other line, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop, but I didn't. So I took my very last test on 8/18, 2 days after that dye stealer, and got a dye stealer. So it was just to put my mind at ease, and after that I stopped testing because for my own sake, and I was soon to be due for my first transvaginal ultrasound, which was done. I was supposed to be about 8 weeks along because they wouldn't accept anyone who's less than 8 weeks based on their last menstrual period. And I was actually measuring 7 weeks and 1 day. So I was 6 days behind my last menstrual period, which helped me with my dates a little bit better and helped me figure out exactly when I ovulated. So those were my line progression tests, and now I'm going to go ahead and move on to what I used for supplementation during this pregnancy, and this is what I used from day 1. The very first day I got my positive pregnancy test, I started using this immediately, and then I used it probably until week 16. 15, 16 is when I finally stopped. So this is what I used, and yes, I am a nurse and I'm in medical school. I have researched this far and beyond what most people will probably research, and most websites say that it doesn't actually, you know, do anything to maintain a pregnancy, but I'm not sure if this actually worked. So don't take my word on this. This is just what I personally use, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So I use the Progescence Plus. It is from Young Living. It's an essential oil, and I saw this actually on Lauren and Ari's channel. They're from The Bachelor, and I watched their entire season. She used this for her twins even before she got pregnant, while she was trying to conceive. So she used this oil, like, I think throughout like her first trimester, and I think she stopped like week 14. So this is where I got it from, and then I always had it just like handy, like prepared in case I ever did get pregnant. I would use this every single night before I went to sleep. I would just use it once a day and just rub it on my inner wrists. I rub it on my stomach. I would rub it on my inner thighs, my feet. You can literally put it wherever you want. And the smell is fantastic, but in your first trimester I did get a little bit tired of the smell once I really started getting nauseous and started vomiting, and that's all I used. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I will put a link down below. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever. I just use that oil and I still have a little bit left. So yeah, that's just what I used for this pregnancy. I would say my next symptom was probably around, I would say, a week after my line progression test. So I was probably like 6 weeks is when the nausea and breast swelling started. My breasts really started swelling and hurting like extremely bad, feeling like they had a workout or something, super sore by week like 6 or 7. So like I would just wake up, or even like when I turned in the middle of the night, like I would just feel them like just be so sore. Like I couldn't even like turn from side to side, they were so sore. It just felt like I had worked them out all night long or something like that, but it was just, I guess, my breast expanding and swelling. That lasted maybe a month or two, probably like probably until I was about 12 or 13 weeks is when the pain stopped. Besides that, the nausea started around the exact same time the breast swelling started. And I would just feel like overly nauseous. Like the vomiting didn't start until like week 8, and that's when I started to like really like throw up and have emesis. That happened pretty much every night until I started Unisom. I'm actually going to show it to you guys. Okay, I went to grab the pills. So this is what I ended up taking. It's not a prescription, but it's technically the same thing as what the doctor prescribes to you. It's called Diclegis as a prescription, but it's literally just Unisom, which is over the counter. It's pretty much like a sleep tablet. I literally just took it at night because it would make me extremely tired, but it was great because it helped me sleep through the night. So I thought that was wonderful. And I also took it along B6, vitamin B6. So I took it along vitamin B6 because that's the formulation of Diclegis, literally what the doctor gives you as a prescription. And this helped me so much. Yes, there were times where I did throw up even while taking it, but if anything, it reduces nausea completely. I did have a lot of nausea in the beginning, but after I took it, it did decrease it significantly, where I would just throw up just a few times. But when I would forget it, you could definitely see the difference when I didn't take it. So that helped me so much with my nausea, and I highly recommend trying it before you go to the doctor and ask for something else. I also had Zofran, which is a prescription medication. That did not work for me at all. So this over-the-counter stuff is cheap and it worked so well. Besides the nausea, vomiting, breast tenderness slash swelling, besides those symptoms, I did have a lot of fatigue. I would just say in the first couple weeks of my pregnancy, it definitely went away by like the second trimester, I would say, but I think a lot of it had to do with me just being in school and working and just having to be so busy. I didn't have time to be tired or lay down and sleep. So to compensate, if you're a busy mom or you're a student like me, or you're working, to compensate, I would just sleep earlier and then wake up earlier. So I would just take this Unisom at like 9 p.m, call it a day, and then just wake up early like at 6 a.m. just so I got plenty of hours of sleep, so I wouldn't be extremely exhausted throughout the day. And I think that schedule, like just sticking to a schedule, worked for me very well. So those are pretty much all my symptoms. Currently I don't really have many symptoms besides a giant belly belly and feeling like I'm carrying around a watermelon 24/7. But besides that, I don't really have many other symptoms. I do have a lot of round ligament pain, which is just like the ligaments in your groin. I do feel some pressure sometimes, just like when the baby is positioned weird. Just started noticing a little bit of sciatica pain, and that's just like down like the middle of my bottom. It's just all related to like positioning, but stretching helps me so much, and using a belly band helps me so much. So I highly recommend in your second, third trimester investing in a good belly band to help keep your belly lifted and support your back. Thankfully I've had no back pain whatsoever, just the occasional ligament pain, like when I've been sitting weird or sitting for a very long time and I get up for the first time. I definitely feel that ligament pain. So I highly recommend a good belly band because that helps me get through shifts at work and it helps me get through school. So I definitely wear it whenever I am sitting for long periods of time. I just want to show you guys the other medications I took. I literally have just been taking this prenatal. It has DHA in it. And I took it since the very beginning, since I felt nauseous very early on in my pregnancy. And this stuff has always tasted good to me. It never made me want to throw up. It has a fantastic fruity flavor, and I just love how it has DHA in it, has tons of folic acid. So this is what I have been using for all my months, and I will continue using. I did have COVID a month ago, so the doctor prescribed me some baby aspirin, got some iron. Yeah, she told me to take a baby aspirin every day until 36 weeks just to prevent clots and everything that could have happened with COVID. So I did start taking that a few weeks ago, and the iron because I am anemic. So I take this iron every day or night. You could take it either or, but take it with food because it absorbs a lot better. And occasionally, maybe like once every like 3 days or so, I do feel some acid reflux. So I've been taking Pepcid. This is just an HEB brand. It's actually called famotidine. That's like the generic name of it. So you can literally get this at any drugstore. This one just says acid controller, but it gives you way more pills than just the Pepcid, like the brand name by itself, but it's literally the exact same thing. It helps me so well, so much better than Tums. That is pretty much all I have been taking pill-wise, thankfully. That is pretty much my pregnancy journey. I hope this helped you guys. These videos always interested me, so I hope you guys follow me along my pregnancy journey and hit that red subscribe button to follow me along. Please don't forget to like this video, you know, for the algorithm. And again, I'm going to be leaving my 25% off Pink Blush Maternity link down below. And you guys get some cute clothes because they don't just have dresses, they have cute loungewear, they have cute casual. So my battery totally died, so this is off my phone. I'm just gonna film my outro really quick, but yeah, I was saying that they have really cute casual dresses, cute loungewear, all that cute stuff. So check out their website, please, and use my discount code. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!